Hello, Pastor Keith Hodges, and I want to welcome you to our 3-minute leadership broadcast. And today I want to talk about creating momentum. John Maxwell says that momentum is the leader's best friend. And when you think about momentum, momentum really does do a lot of things. It allows us to move faster than we could ever have moved, and it allows us really to accomplish more than we could ever accomplish. And so when you think about momentum, momentum kind of raises the water level of your church, your ministry, your organization. And when the water level rises, everything in the organization and everybody in that organization rises with it. So momentum really does have the power to impact and change our churches, our ministries, and what God's called us to do. So here's the million-dollar question, right? So how do you create momentum? Well, Mark chapter 4, verse 25, Jesus says this. He says, "Whoever has will be given more, and whoever does not have, even what they have, will be taken from them." So here's a simple thought. What we do with what we have determines the momentum that we're going to create. What we do with what we have determines whether we're going to get more or we're going to have less. And so I want to talk today about 3 keys to creating momentum. Number 1, we have to be faithful with what we have, right? We have to be faithful with what we have. So I want to ask you the question, are you fully utilizing the things that God has given you? Your time, your talents, your resources. Are you taking full advantage of what you have? Are you being faithful with it and using it for its full potential? The second thing I want to ask you in how we create momentum is we have to be fervent with what we have, right? We have to have passion and zeal in doing the things God has called us to do. If we're going to create momentum, you can never create positive motion without a passion and a fervency in the heart of the leader. And so we've got to be fervent in what we have. And the third thing is that we have to focus on what we have, right? So we got to be faithful with what we have, we have to be fervent with what we have, and we have to be focused on what we have. Because one of the tricks or one of the traps of the enemy is that many times, especially as pastors, we look at other churches and other ministers and we see what they have, and because we don't have what they have, we think we can't do what God has called us to do. But the key to creating momentum is we have to focus on what we have. What do I have? And how can I use what I have for the glory of God? How can I use what I have to see God's kingdom come, God's will be done in the lives of people? Tommy Barnett wrote a book and preached a sermon entitled "The Miracle in Your House." And he made this simple statement. He says there is a seed in your life right now to produce the need or meet the need that you have. So whatever the need is, God's already given you the seed, right? And so unless you focus on what you have, you're never going to do the things that God has called you to do. And so I want to encourage you today, let's create momentum. Let's be faithful, let's be fervent, and let's be focused in doing the things God has called us to do.